up, Raider Nation? I'm your host, Simone Raider, and welcome back to another episode of Nation News. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about Von Miller and Stefon Diggs believing that this Raiders team is better than what their record says. Not only that, Davante Adams seems to be dealing with some legal issues involving that cameraman. Also, Rich Eisen believes that the Raiders can still make the playoffs this season. And last but not least, Hobbs continues to prove that a broken hand ain't going to stop him from playing the game of football. All of that on this episode of Nation News.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
We can all agree that it's been a really tough start to the season, and especially coming off of that loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's easy to say that the Raiders season is over. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Raider Nation, I'm overly optimistic, especially when it comes to this team. So I still have a little bit of hope that this team can turn this season around and still make the playoffs. I just can't get over the fact that we are too talented of a team to be 1-4 right now. You look at the past couple of games that we played, the first 5 weeks of this season, this record could definitely be different. We barely lost most of those games. You look at week 1, we lost to the Chargers 24-19. Then you go into week 2, our home opener in Allegiant Stadium. We choked away a 20-point lead. And even in overtime, I still feel like we could have won that game if Hunter Renfrow never fumbled the ball away. Then you move over to week 3 in Tennessee. We failed to convert on a 2-point conversion to keep this game alive. Who knows what we would have done in overtime, but I still feel like we could have had a chance to win that game. Then you look at this past week against the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. We had a 17-point lead in this game, but at the end of the game, we still had a chance to win and drive down the field. I still am going to blame the referees because they made some costly calls against our Raiders team that could have put us in position to win that game. But it seems like I'm not the only one that believes that, because Rich Eisen also believes that the Raiders can still make the playoffs and make a run after the bye week.
I do believe, though, they still have a chance to make the playoffs. I'm not going to jump ship on that. They have too many good players, and they just have to eliminate the mistakes and get their minds right. They're frustrated. They're angry. They're 1-4, but you look at the Raiders' schedule here, and moving forward, the Las Vegas Raiders coming off of their bye, they're home for Houston, at New Orleans, at Jacksonville, home for Indianapolis, at Denver, and then at Seattle. Let's put together a nice little win streak, Raiders.
Well, they could win the next 6 in a row.
You look at the Raiders' schedule right after the bye week, we have a lot of winnable matchups, and according to a lot of analysts out there, according to a lot of people out there, they believe that the Raiders should go on a 6-game winning streak, especially before we play the LA Chargers again at our home. But those 6 teams that we're going to play right off of the bye are the Houston Texans, the New Orleans Saints, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, Denver Broncos, and the Seattle Seahawks. If and only if the Raiders do win the next 6 games straight, we would be 7-4 going into week 13 against the Chargers, which would put us in a good place to make the playoffs. And as great as that sounds, it's still any given Sunday, especially with this Raiders team. We usually lose most of the games that we should win, but I'm not going to go that far to say that we're going to go on a 6-game winning streak. I'm just going to say right now that we should take each and every game one game at a time. But Raider Nation, what do you guys think? Do you guys feel like the Raiders can turn this whole season around right after the bye week and possibly go on a 6-game winning streak? Fuck it, maybe a 10-game winning streak? Or do you guys feel like we should just pump our brakes just a little bit and just take it one game at a time? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, in some other news, let's talk about the man of the hour, Davante Adams. Everybody's been talking about Davante Adams, and according to Bleacher Report, it seems like Adams has been charged with a misdemeanor assault after shoving a cameraman following the Raiders' loss versus the Chiefs. It's kind of crazy to think that, Davante Adams got charged faster for shoving a guy than Brett Favre was for simply stealing millions of dollars of welfare funds.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These facts are not facts.
This video of Davante Adams has been going viral all over social media, and it seems to be two sides to this incident. One is that Davante Adams shouldn't have done this, he shouldn't have shoved the guy, and that it's totally unacceptable. Or two, the cameraman shouldn't have gotten in Davante's way, and the NFL needs to do a better job to clear the tunnels to the field and from the field, especially after, a really frustrating game like this. The emotions are at a all-time high.
I mean, clearly, I know that he regrets pushing him, shouldn't have happened. but this is not something that should end in a suspension. Perhaps you fine him, and here's why. This is very, very important. You know, when players are coming into the stadium and when they're exiting the stadium, the tunnel should be clear. That's up to NFL security to make sure that the tunnel is clear. So he's got all these emotions he's dealing with. He's exiting the game, and then somebody's walking into him, and he is almost like kind of, hey, move out the way. Afterwards, you can think about it, but when you have all those emotions fresh off the game, there's a reason why they should clear the tunnel.
I honestly talked about this before. I still feel like Davante Adams shouldn't have done this. Then again, the cameraman shouldn't have just walked right in front of him like that. But the fact that the cameraman is filing a police report against Davante and also claiming that he was injured in this occasion, even though he got his ass right back up after he was shoved, is proof that this is a money grab.
This is a money grab. I'm accusing the guy that you're damn right it is, okay? You got pushed to the ground, you got right back up, and next thing you know, you at the police department. Please, ain't nobody foolish. It's a money grab. That's what it is. But let's also take into account that even though I believe this to be a money grab, the fact of the matter is that Davante Adams had no business doing what he was doing.
Now, on the Samoan Raider channel, we have an exclusive inside clip of the cameraman filing his police report. You won't find this clip at all on any other Raider channel, only on this channel. With that being said, roll the clip. In all seriousness though, I do feel like Davante will get hit with the fine. I just hope that he doesn't get any type of suspension. But what do you guys think, Raider Nation? What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you guys feel like Davante Adams was in the wrong, or do you feel like the cameraman was in the wrong? Type DA for Davante Adams or CM for the cameraman. So yesterday, there was a clip going around of Von Miller and Stefon Diggs talking about our Raiders team this past week on Monday Night Football. I got a lot of people DMing me, asking me, yo, what do you think about this? So I was like, you know what, let me go watch that podcast and I'll get right back to you guys in just a little. And after watching it, I would say that it was a great podcast. Also, it was great to hear that they showed a lot of love to our Raiders, and not only our Raiders, our quarterback Derek Carr and even Josh Jacobs.
Just throughout that game, the Raiders had the right mindset. It was I guess it was a little controversial with that going for two compared to kicking the ball, but you know, as a coach, you do what you think feels right, especially going in with that mindset, that aggressive mindset. Shit, they went for it on 4th and 1, scored a touchdown. Yeah. Why not be aggressive?
Stefon Diggs basically took the words right out of my mouth with his thoughts on the game. And I do gotta agree with him, because this team did go into that game with the right mindset, being really aggressive. That's why I'm not really that hurt or that critical of the 2-point conversion that we try to go for at the end of the game, because I felt like if we got that, we would have possibly came away with the victory at the end of the day. But the fact that it didn't work out is the main reason why a lot of Raider fans are mad, and the reason why a lot of Raider fans want to fire Josh McDaniels, which I'm not on board with that just yet. But one thing that Stefon Diggs said that I really agree with the most is the fact that he said that this Raiders team is better than what the record shows.
The Raiders, in my opinion, is a team that their record won't reflect how good they are. They're one of those teams that probably could still be in the mix. Like, I saw them talk about it today on, I think, on SportsCenter or something, but they were just saying that their record won't reflect how good they are because they have, talent-wise, they got all the pieces.
And that's true. I still feel like this team is way too talented to be 1-4. I know we've talked so much about the weapons we do have on the offensive side and on the defensive side of the ball, and I feel like this team is slowly starting to gel right now, because I've seen a lot of great things from this last game. It sucks that it ended in a loss, but I do have a little bit of hope, like I said before in this video, especially after watching this last game, that this team can make a big run, hopefully after the bye week. I mean, we went up against a Kansas City Chiefs that is one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL right now. I thought that we were going to get blown out in this game, but the fact that we came into this game really aggressive and really wanted to shock the world, it's a good sign to see. We just got to find better ways to execute games moving forward. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is cornerback Nate Hobbs. I would say the best cornerback that we have on the roster right now. It's kind of crazy to see how far he's came since he was drafted by this team. But I would say that Nate Hobbs continues to prove that he is a dog. Because according to his story on IG, he basically said that he broke his hand in his last game, and when he had the decision to stay out or go right back on the field, he did not hesitate to go right back out to the field and finish off the game and hopefully bring home a W. Obviously we didn't, but the fact that he still went out there with a broken hand and did not have any excuses goes to show how much this guy wants to play to win games. And that goes a far way, not only for the team, but for the Raider Nation. And that's one of the reasons why he is slowly becoming one of the favorites for us, the nation. You know, we got guys like Max Crosby that has stepped up and stepped up into that limelight. So seeing another guy on the defensive side of the ball like Nate Hobbs really showing up like that really is great. But this is the story that Hobbs posted. Lots of dudes would have folded, broke bones in my hand, and had a choice. I told them do whatever they had to do to put me back on the field with my brothers. I'll figure the rest out myself. I done took my share of L's and stood face to face with enough fear. I ain't hiding, I'm here. Talk your shit, Nate. Watching the game, I was wondering what was going on with Nate Hobbs. I seen the club in his hand, and I didn't know whether or not he had that before the game or it happened during the game. But hey, now we know. And I got mad respect for 3-9. I put him in that same tier as Max Crosby. You know, a guy that was drafted late. We didn't expect much out of him, but he ends up being a dog, and he puts the team's needs over themselves. I just hope that this doesn't affect Nate Hobbs in the long run. Good thing we have a bye week because he has a break this week, but hopefully he's ready to go once we play the Texans here in Las Vegas. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if this is the very first time you come across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boys, yeah.
Started off in Oakland, now we here. Thought that we was done, we just hit another gear. Look, started off in Oakland, now we here. Hey, pull up with the nation in the silver black gear. Look, 4 games straight, we in the playoff. Shout out to the Chargers fans, y'all enjoy the layoff.